We were sitting at our favorite spot, a quiet, rooftop cafe overlooking the city, the place where we'd celebrated our 1-year anniversary, where he first told me he loved me. I never imagined it would be the place where I'd start to question everything about the man I'd spent 2 years loving. It started innocently. We'd been talking about the future marriage, kids, where we'd live, what kind of parents we'd be. I was sipping my coffee when he suddenly said, "By the way, just so you know, if we ever have kids, I'd always want a paternity test. No offense, it's just as a man, you can never really know." I froze. I put my cup down slowly. "What?" I asked, thinking maybe I misheard. He repeated it word for word, calm, certain, like he'd just told me he preferred oat milk over almond. I blinked. "So you'd want a DNA test for our child, even if we were married?" He shrugged. "It's not personal. It's just logical. Men get screwed over all the time. It's protection. Protection. From me." That was the moment something cracked. "But do you think I would do that to you?" He didn't answer right away. And that was worse than a yes. "It's not about trust," he finally said. "It's about truth. But trust is truth. Or it should be." That's when I realized this wasn't about protecting himself from betrayal. This was about preparing for it. Expecting it. And I didn't want to be with someone who thought betrayal was inevitable, especially from me. I didn't speak for the rest of the evening. Not because I didn't have anything to say, but because I didn't know how to say it without screaming or crying. He noticed the silence, of course. "Are you mad?" he asked on the drive home. I gave a small, quiet no, but inside, my heart was sinking like a stone. What was I supposed to say? Yes, I'm furious that the man I love thinks I might betray him in the most painful way imaginable. That despite 2 years of loyalty, of love, of building a life together, you think I'd lie about something as life-changing as a child? Instead, I sat there, watching the streetlights blur past the windshield, wondering how many other women had heard the same thing, wondering how many men walked around with this deeply buried distrust, dressed up as logic. The next morning, I brought it up again. "Can I ask you something?" I said over breakfast. He nodded. "Why do you feel the need for a test? Is it because of something from your past?" He sighed, buttering his toast. "It's not just me. It's common sense. One of my friends found out his kid wasn't his after 4 years. I'm just being smart." The next few weeks felt hollow. We still went on dates, still texted good morning, still curled up on the couch to watch our favorite shows. But something had shifted. It was like dancing with someone who kept one foot out the door just in case the music stopped. I began to notice things I hadn't before. How he double-checked my location when I went out with friends. How he made passive jokes like, "Bet the waiter's your type, huh?" Or, "Hope you're not hiding a secret second life." Each time I laughed nervously, but inside it chipped away at me. One night I finally asked, "Do you even trust me?" He looked up from his phone. "Of course I do, but trust and caution aren't the same thing." And there it was again, caution. As if I were a risk he needed to manage, not a partner he could believe in. I wasn't dating a man. I was dating his fear. The final straw wasn't dramatic. No screaming match. No public scene. Just a quiet moment that finally made me realize this wasn't love anymore. Not the kind I deserved. We were at a friend's baby shower. Someone joked, "Bet you two will be next." I smiled instinctively. He didn't. Instead, in front of everyone, he chuckled and said, "Only if I get that paternity test first, right, babe?" The room fell awkwardly silent. Someone laughed nervously. I stared at him and saw no regret on his face. Just smug confidence, as if he'd said something clever. I smiled too for show. But inside, something broke clean in half. Later that night, I packed a bag. He watched me, confused. "You're leaving over a joke?" "No," I said quietly. "I'm leaving because I'm not a suspect in my own relationship." And that was it. Leaving wasn't easy. I grieved the version of him. I had once loved the man who brought me coffee on sleepy mornings, who memorized my favorite songs, who kissed my forehead like it meant forever. But I had to face the truth. That version of him never fully trusted me. And without trust, there's no love, just surveillance. The first few weeks were painful. Nights were quiet. Too quiet. I questioned if I overreacted. I read old messages, replayed old laughter, but then something changed. I started feeling light again. I stopped second-guessing myself. I walked through the world without wondering if I needed to prove anything just to be loved, because real love doesn't require proof of innocence. It simply believes. Months later, he messaged me. "I miss you." I didn't realize how much damage that one thing caused. I read it, smiled sadly, deleted it, Some lessons come wrapped in heartbreak, but I'd rather be alone with my dignity than with someone who loved me through a lens of suspicion.